Very good afternoon to you all. This is Nyasha Charandura from Major Sports Consultancy Company Africa. Today we are doing something that is unfamiliar but familiar as well. We're trying to reintroduce ourselves after some months of challenges due to the COVID-19. We have thousands and thousands of our followers that we've been dealing with, from the physical courses, seminars that we did from 2017 up to until the starting of the pandemic. Maybe before we go any further, we'll start by looking at Major Sports Consultancy Company as from the foundation. 2017, we started as NC Health and Wellness, and we launched a branch in Zimbabwe. And by 2018, we were already in Botswana, where we had a number of seminars, and we grew our fan base there, client base there, and we also managed to register Major Sports Consultants Company Botswana, which worked successfully alongside TK and different guys that helped us to come up with that. But basically, when you look at Major Sports Consultants Company Africa, we are a sports scientific organization that focuses on 3 pillars of high performance. Number 1, it is the prehab. Number 2, it is the conditioning. Then number 3, it is the rehab. Okay, looking at those 3, prehab, it is the art of preventing the occurrence of injuries through activities that can be done before a player or an athlete gets into the main activity. But at the same time, there's need of the foundation to be developed through strength and conditioning. We use scientific principles to develop high-performance players, athletes to move and to be able to be fit and ready for different activities. And like always, injuries comes as accidents. Despite the fact that we would have done the prehab, they just reduce the occurrence of injuries. Some injuries, they come as accidents. They also need a different approach. So that's when we start the rehabilitation. So from then, our foundation from the start, it was on 2 pillars, which was the rehabilitation, where we were teaching coaches and different interested candidates in sport on how to manage injuries and how to treat injuries, how to manage injuries post-clinically. And we came up also with the sports scientific strength and conditioning, which was received very well. And I believe the prehab to be more or less like a new baby, because we've discovered that we are dealing with the conditioning, we're dealing with the injuries, but those can also be reduced, the injuries, through the prehab. So prehab programs will be coming very soon on our channel and on our website. So post 2019, when the COVID-19 came, we came up with an online system, which is www.majorsportsconsultancycompany.com, and we received a very overwhelming response. The first class was the Botswana class, when we did sports scientific strength and conditioning. All those students, they were the first students to be enrolled in our online system. It was a very exciting system where we get the enrollment, the certification is online. And many would ask, because the question which many would ask is it on the verification and etc. Okay, firstly, we have a number of organizations that deals with us, that accepts our programs. But like what I always say, our main objective is to empower coaches with 21st century information. As you know, that the syllabus in Africa, they take time to change. They take maybe 10 years for them to be able to change and to match the standard of the 21st century. For example, let's look in Europe. There's Baka Academy, which Baka University, Baka Academies, which offers such empowering tools. Yes, they are very suitable and they're very good according to the European setup, but in Africa, we need information that can be used by an ordinary coach who is down there. So basically, we came up with such kind of a program. For example, online, we have sports scientific strength and conditioning level 1 and level 2. We have biochemistry and sports injury management. Currently, we've got level 1, and we are working on level 2. And like what I said, we have a new baby, which is the prehab programs, which I believe will be coming within the coming few months. And that's what makes Major Sports Consultants Company. But besides, our main goal is to go entrepreneurial. For example, we are an entrepreneurial organization where after we have taught our students, they should be able to go and start their own things and be entrepreneur. It's one of the most important things. Sports is a billion-dollar industry where you're supposed to be able to make ends meet. For example, we have some who come from a recreational point of view where they train different individuals and they're also able to make ends meet. And also, if you look from, personally, I'm from an athletic background where I'm an IWF lecturer. I did sprints and hurdles, IWF. I did a number of things that are in that particular line. But you see that many people who come to our courses, they come because they are looking for employment, but which is basically wrong. The main objective us is to empower our students, to empower our coaches, to come up with coaches with a difference. And I believe we had made an impact, because if you are go to Zimbabwe, almost half, if not three-quarters of the strength and conditioning coaches, they are from our system. You go to Botswana, maybe a quarter and so they are from our system. And currently I'm based in Tanzania, where we are also working on coming up with something in that line with maybe the partners that will be coming in. So it is very important to keep updated and to upgrade to the 21st century, where now most of the courses that are being done online, and maybe there is registration of practicals once, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, but basically you have developed a foundation. You cannot stop learning because maybe because of the coronavirus and etc. You have to adapt and make sure that you can be able to link to the 21st century. Okay, we have got 2 key mottos. The first motto is, if you cannot test it, you cannot train it. It's the basis is on the scientific principle of testing and measurements, where a coach should be able to understand the current state of a player through testing and measurements, design interventions program from there, and be able to come up with a program across different sports codes. Of course, there are demands profile that are on different sports codes. If you check our programs, they are multi-sports. Why? Because they touch on the scientific principles, and definitely you look at the demands profile of a sport. And the other one, which is the key to us, which goes across all sports, is science-based, player-centered, and coach-driven. Science-based, it is the application of the 21st century scientific principle, making sure that we work through the principles. Player-centered, each and every player is very different. Each and every athlete is different as well. If you are dealing with an athlete, no matter what sport, you cannot say that what you've encountered with the previous player or athlete is the same. They are different, so you're supposed to be able to deal with them differently. That's when that principle even of specificity comes, or individuality comes. It's part of the principles that are within our programs. Coach-driven, the coach is the main person, is the main man, no matter what the sport. After they've an understanding of the first 2 phases, sometimes it's not about them having an understanding, but it's about them having a team with an understanding that complement the coach, because it's about the complementation of the coach that is needed. That team should be able to complement the coach and give the information that can channel them towards success. So we are happy that over those few years that we have practiced, we have been working, we convinced a number of coaches to move scientifically, especially in Zimbabwe, Botswana, and we believe that we'll be moving across Africa and we'll be able to bring about change. So basically, that's where we are now. That's what have happened. Like, we moved from that physical approach to digital approach, where we have our site on www.majorsportsconsultancycompany.com, and the enrollments, there are now over 1,000. Week in, week out, we're getting new people who want to enroll with us. Like what I said, if the future doesn't exist, it is very important to create one, and that's what we are exactly doing. We are nurturing the next generation of coaches that can be able to create employment, that can be able to start something, that can be able to venture and nurture into the billion-dollar industry of sport. If you check, we have a number of empowering tools which comes from the books that we have written over the last 2 years, and currently we are writing some of the books, but we are giving them time so that people first have access to the empowering tools that we have given. I hope we'll be meeting in the coming presentations. If you check, we also have our YouTube channel, Major Sports Consultancy Company Africa, where we have a number of presentations that can also be able to be helpful. Thank you.